Hello, my name is Allison Carter Marlowe, and welcome to the ABCD segment on BNN. Today we'll be discussing ABCD's weatherization program with the guru at ABCD on that, and that's David McClellan, and he's ABCD's Director of Conservation Services. Welcome, David. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
All right, David, I know nothing or little about ABCD's conservation or weatherization program, so can you give us a brief introduction to what that means?
Sure. Conservation programs are meant to help people be more comfortable, first off, and to save some energy, save some money. There are a variety of programs. There's weatherization, which is really insulation, air sealing, it's stuff for the building shell to make your fuel dollars in this cold season go a little bit further, right? We want to stretch that out. Right. We have the HEART program, which is heating system replacements, which is great for people who have a heating system that's failing or that's very old and inefficient, again, to try to stretch out that money that we're able to give them through the LIHEAP program. Okay. And then there's the NCAP program, which is all electric. It's compact fluorescent lamps, it's refrigerators, things like that. Okay. All these programs are provided at no cost. Variety of funding sources. Some come from the utilities, some come from the Department of Energy, different sources around the state. And we kind of pool all of these together and leverage them so that we can do as much work as possible. Okay. Now,
David, you started off with all these wonderful descriptions.
Sure.
How do people apply or get connected? Is that through the fuel assistance program at ABCD?
The fuel assistance is the best gateway to our program. Okay. What happens when you're in the fuel assistance program, you have access to all of the programs right away, and we'll get someone out there to do an audit of the house, do the weatherization side, and then we'll look at, while we're there, we'll have an auditor, a state-trained auditor come out, and they'll look at your house, and they'll tell you what kind of things are possible. They'll look at things like your lighting, they'll look at your refrigerator, they'll look at your heating system. We do safety checks too. Sometimes people, especially you get seniors or people who aren't as familiar with the equipment, they haven't done their maintenance. They don't know what's supposed to happen. Oh, okay. And even if we don't replace the system, just taking a look at it and checking it out can be very good for people so they know they're safe and they know the system.
Making sure they're maintaining it.
Exactly. And if they're interested, they get through LIHEAP. They can also come in through the utility programs, through the discount rate. If they contact the utilities or Mass Save, which is the statewide program, Mass Save, we'll ask them about being on the discount rate and send them to us. So we reach out every way we can. You know, we do neighborhood meet and greet kind of things. We do mailings with our utility partners. We do all kinds of outreach to try to make sure that people know about us and can get a hold of us and coordinate the time.
Now, could you walk us through those steps? Like you said, someone would apply for fuel assistance.
Sure.
They would be deemed eligible, and then they would say, or maybe one of the staff would say, looks like you might be a great candidate for some of these programs?
Well, folks are asked up front, do you want weatherization? Oh, okay. And if they say they do, they'll check the mark. But we also understand that there are a lot of people who don't understand when you ask them, do you want weatherization? They don't know what it is, or they don't know if they would qualify, or if it's something they would do. So, and usually they're kind of focusing right then and there on the fuel side of things. So we'll also do some data mining. We have databases, and we'll look through and we'll find people who meet the right criteria, and we'll try to reach out to them. It's always better if they try to reach us. Whenever that's possible, it works out best. Yeah. But we do make a lot of phone calls to try to get a hold of folks. Once we've done that, there's a little bit of paperwork. If you're a homeowner, you can sign. You have a document that's signed that says it's okay for us to be in your home and to look around. Okay. A renter, we actually have to get an additional piece of paper for the landlord because, of course, you don't own. Right, exactly. We're gonna do some things to the building. You want to make sure that the landlord is aware of it and that the landlord's okay with what we're going to do. Often, the landlord will give us a conditional approval to look, but then come back later before we do anything.
That makes sense.
Exactly, they're protecting their investment, and sometimes they're protecting their customers because they don't know us as well as the people who are on fuel assistance usually have a better relationship with ABCD. They've already worked with us in other programs, so they're willing to let us come in. Yeah. We'll come in, we'll take a look at whatever's going on in the house. We use infrared cameras, we use blower doors, we use some pretty high-tech stuff to look at a house nowadays. And we also use some experience. One of our guys is 30 plus years doing this, so he can spot just about anything that needs to be done. Okay. So we'll go in, we'll take a look, and we prepare a report from that.
And you mentioned two programs that ABCD offers, HEART and NCAP?
That's correct.
All right, so could you give us let's start with heart WAP.
Here in the Northeast, heating systems are obviously necessary. You have to have them. And they need to be maintained, and they need to be efficient. We have a lot of older systems just because of the nature of the homes and the building stock and things like that. We even have old steam systems that need to be worked on. So all of these systems need to be addressed. They need to be looked at, and they need to be made sure that they're safe and that they're operating efficiently.
Now, NCAP, you said, is all electric.
It's all about electric, yeah. NCAP, they're going to, that's an audit that's done looking at light bulbs. They'll look at computers. They'll give you a power strip that'll automatically turn off your equipment if it's not being used. Fortunately, we're starting to do light emitting diodes, which is the next, the LED lamps, which is the next big thing coming in lighting. We're starting to put some of those into our houses because the cost has been coming down, and we find the right spots for them where they're going to operate enough. And those are incredible. They last 100,000 hours. So it's sort of put them in and forget about them. You should never have to touch them again. Huh? Exactly.
Very nice.
So that's really nice. And there are places where those, high use areas, kitchens as an example, where those things are just great to have in. They don't burn out, so it's safer for folks, so that they don't have to worry about changing out light bulbs. And they use about 1/3 of the energy. So again, that has an impact. And if you save some money on your electric bill, you save some money on your gas or oil bill, it all adds up.
It adds up. Now, why is it important to weatherize your home? I mean, we've talked about the benefits in terms of savings. We've talked a little bit about maintenance. But worst case scenario, if people aren't getting this done, they really could get into some serious trouble around maintaining their properties.
Sure. If your heating system fails this time of year, you have sub-zero days or days that feel that way anyway. You can easily have pipes freeze up. Now the pipes will freeze in the walls, and if the pipes freeze, they'll crack. Once they crack, now you're going to have water inside your walls, and it's hard. First, you have to find those cracks. Then you have to fix those cracks. Then you have to do whatever remediation for the water that damage that got in there. So that could be a problem. If they have another system like a furnace or something, and that drops out, they're going to have the discomfort of being cold. First off, so you're going to lose some comfort. And the backup, usually what people tend to do when they have this problem is they'll plug in little electric heaters, which, at 20 cents a kilowatt hour here in Boston, it gets very expensive to operate those units. And they really don't provide the kind of heat that you need. They're good in an emergency, but...
Band-Aids at best.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. It's a Band-Aid. And you hate to see people suffering that way when there's opportunities for them to have these systems fixed.
Okay. Now, if someone wants to get weatherization, David, who do they contact? What number? What website are we talking about?
They could call my office directly, and the number for weatherization would be 617-358-6419. Okay.
358-6419.
Right. And if there's any question, they can always call the main number, the 357-6000 number, and just ask for weatherization. They know us, and they're happy to send calls our way.
Okay. Well, David, it's been an absolute pleasure talking with you and learning so much more about the weatherization program. To find out more about ABCD and its weatherization program, please feel free to go to our website, which is www.bostonabcd.org, or you can call the main number at ABCD, which is 617-348-6000. We thank you so much for tuning into the ABCD segment on BNN. My name is Allison Carter Marlowe, and until next time.